Good morning everyone, welcome back to my channel. So once again today I'm working on the Roxy Journal of Stitchery project, and the prompt that I'd like to do today is the mossy forest floor. Bit tricky when you're living by the beach, but there's an element of that scene that I'm going to be working on, and I've been wanting to do these for so long and just never had a project or well, pretty much a project that they could be worked into. So I've done plenty mushrooms, but never the red ones with the white cap. But before we get into that, I just thought I'd show you the final piece. That was the Summer Days, which is classic Queensland, hot summer days. So I went with the colours of the oranges and reds, and then collaged in around this poppy, which I've thread painted, put some seed stitch in there, some of the little additional flowers, and also added in some machine embroidery to sort of build up some texture. So that's just a wash of the colour that represents summer for me. The hat is still not on the piece. I just couldn't make it sit right, and I just knew that it would just get crushed because it had a bit of a dome to the summer hat that I was playing around with. The other thing you'll notice is it's sitting here. In my video, I had it planned for here, and when it came time to attach it to my book, it just didn't feel right over here, and I think it's because of this little edgy lace. It was a shame to have it squished into the seam. So we've got a page here for something at some point. I'm thinking the bird, but who knows? So definitely have a gap there, and that is stitched into position. I like how the little sample colour piece is still down that side. It just fit better. So the next one is going to be a double page spread, and it's going through the centre, and that's what we're going to work on today. So I've got myself my wadding, my padding to give my piece some bulk as I stitch, and also I've cut myself or torn myself a piece of this. It was an old pillow slip with this embroidery on that, and I thought, well, that might make a nice backdrop to my mushrooms. So what I've got is this stamp. I have stamped these. I thought I might as well get that done instead of, wasting time doing it with you guys. So I've got this element, that element, and that element. Not sure where or how they'll fit into this piece, but I've got plenty of room. That'll give you my sketchy look. The other thing I've got is my napkin. So I'd like to bring out some of these little pieces as well. Once again, composition wise, not sure where that will fit in. These are just elements to be used. So I can put that away. I also had a look in my Trish Burr book. I've used this so many times. I've got so many things I've stitched out of here, and this is where it all started. When I saw this stitching of this piece, I was just like, wow, one day I'm going to do that. So some more inspiration. I don't think I'm going to stitch it to that degree. I think it's going to be more collagey. I think the last couple pages that I've done on in these journals have been very, look at the owl, have been very stitched. So I sort of feel like I want to do a collaged type effect. Oh, I don't want that colour. Oh, maybe that was caught up in the fabric. So I've grabbed out some fabrics to collage the top of my mushroom, and I've cut myself a couple stalks already, sort of using this as my inspiration. So that's where I'm at. So what I was trying to decide when I turned on the camera, I feel like I've saved us 20 minutes of getting us ready, was this piece here. when I pulled it out, it was very, you know, square and uniformed. And I'm just wondering if I bring this more down here. I wish I could turn it up this way, to be honest. Excuse me, but that flower is upside down because I'd have it up the top here and then work my mushrooms accordingly. So it does need to be down here. The problem is I love this line. So that's where I was. I was fiddling with this thinking, gee, I better hurry up and turn the camera on because I will be going for it and you guys will be like, hang on a minute, how did you get to that point? So I've got these guys here. And I thought, well, maybe they come in here. That would get me the line. I don't know. Or do I just forget about that image in the background, just pretend it's not there, and away we go? That was my original thought, and I think we're going to do that. So halfway, we must keep in mind this is a double page spread, so we don't want to go near the fold. Oh, I tell you, starting off, isn't it just the trick of it? Let's get the cap sorted on this mushroom. So I haven't got a design. I'm sort of just free-handing with the scissors, which I hope doesn't bite me. Can't be too hard, can it be? I'll just get a rough. Mushrooms are very forgiving. They're a very awkward nature type shape. So you can get away with a lot more with them because they sort of, I guess if there's some little stones in their way as they pop up out of the ground, they'll get a twisted, contorted shape. But at the end of the day, we still want this to look like a mushroom. It could be the one that it sort of, you can see into the throat of it a little bit. Or is that going to be like that? These are only the first couple mushrooms. Like I'm sure this will evolve into a lot of mushrooms. I just want to get my thoughts, I guess, down. And then, you know, we go from there. So as you can see, as you can hear, I'm still sounding a little bit croaky. I feel heaps better. I know the virus is long out of my system. I can feel that, but yeah, like you, that represents this little guy. I'm just wondering if I should be doing these mushrooms in a hoop separately or too many decisions. Let's just focus on the mushrooms, Corrine. Don't worry about the background yet. So the plan is to get lots of different textures and colours into them, which means ripping up some of this spotty stuff. Get my little scissors before there's a... So what I want to do is collage lots of bits of red fabric into here. And it doesn't have to be fabric changing colour. It's just about getting different layers of interesting bits and bobs so they look a lot more, I guess, ratty. Oh my goodness, how do I describe this? So still using the same fabrics but making a bit abstract, and then come over it with some stitching and beads and whatever takes my fancy. So that's the plan. Oh, come on, we're not going to get a tear, are we? But that's okay. Look, that's all distorted up. I like that. That's what we want. The whole top of it to be a little bit on the messy side. Could bring in another fabric as well, but I'm thinking I've got enough here. And then our little that is so dense, that fabric is just so strong, where that other one, this white spotted one, just rips beautifully. Okay, so we've got our little collaged mushroom top. So we need threads. Could do with some red thread to stitch things down. I might just use this stranded cotton left over. Now, you could put a little bit of quilter's glue underneath that, but I don't think I need to. It's only little. Oh, chenille needle, for goodness sakes. I've got the wrong needles around me at the moment. Here we go. That's better. As I was thread painting the last couple of days, I've got needles that hold wools and things like that. Let's get you out of the way. So that's what I'm thinking for the mushrooms. Bring that up to the camera. See how we've got the hint of these red dots? And now we'll just do some random stitches just to hold it all down, and it'll help build up the layers. Now, as for those stamped pieces, I'm thinking of doing a similar sort of thing. We just use them as a sketch, but then one of them really go for it as in colour. Because it's the field notes, it allows us to be a little bit more random, like we are sitting out in the garden sketching, like a workbook. So that now holds all my bits in position with just a little red stitch, and I'll come back in there and put more red stitches. So it's all about, you know, building and building upon the top of the mushroom. I was just determined that I wasn't going to sit here and thread paint the mushrooms, because I'm a little bit thread painted out at the moment. And I thought, well, how else can I represent this little guy? And I'm thinking collaging all of these little bits and bobs of red fabric. So I can go looking now for some maybe red crocheting, red lace. Not that I have much of those sorts of colours. Need to probably dig out the Christmas box. That might have something. Now as for the stalk, it'll be a similar thing. It'll be bringing up from the base. I think too some beads, maybe where this red is here. Gosh, I've wanted to do red mushroom caps for so long. Oh dear. And when the mossy forest floor came up as the prompt, I'm thinking, well, that's going to be a bit of a challenge. I certainly have a forest behind me, but it's not mossy. It's a dry eucalypt type environment. But as I've mentioned, I have these 3 red ceramic mushrooms in my front garden bed that my hose sort of hits as it goes around a corner, and they guide it around the corner instead of it, you know, damaging some plants. And they're nestled in sugarcane mulch. So that's my loose interpretation. Hang on a minute, guys. That's my loose interpretation of this prompt. I really don't know how many of these I'm going to make. I don't know how they're going to be placed on the page. It's just about making some mushrooms at the moment. Let's not plan too far ahead. Well, it's pretty good. I feel like the surface is reasonably secure, and we've got a bit of interest there with these itty bitty stitches. Couple more up this side. Now, let's have a look at the stalk. Here we go. 1 mushroom. How quick was that? Oh, imagine these 3-dimensional. Oh my goodness. There's a mushroom rabbit hole coming. There we go. 1 little mushroom. Oh, aren't you just the sweetest thing, if I do say so myself. So I need that red thread kept handy. Now, this stalk, I've grabbed my box of lacy bits, and I'm hoping, look at the spots on that. Anyway, stay focused. We sort of want bits, don't we? It's part of a wing that Susanna gave me. I'm wondering if I can pinch a bit of that. I like the shape of that. Yep, I like that. Sort of, what else have we got? I grabbed some Osnaburg. Okay, there's a tradesman here that's just pulled up that I don't recognised. And Gaz is still in bed asleep, so I might pause the video, guys, and just go and make sure this gentleman is at the right house. There's a lot of houses being built around here, lots of tradesmen, and oh, there is a plumber due today. All right, I'll be back in a moment, guys. Okay, I'm back, and Fudgy's back too. Okay, it was a plumber. No wonder I hadn't recognised him before, because it's the plumbing side of the shed now. So that's why I was a bit, oh, who is this gentleman? Now, I'm just thinking, I really want to show the under part of this little mushroom. And while I was pretending to be interested in plumbing, I was thinking about the construction of the mushroom. So let's just get a bit of a curved morsel. I don't know if I'm doing it the right way here, but anyway, we'll give it a go. Just sort of want a hint of the underside of it. Yeah, fudgy. And I think that's too straight. So let's just kick that up a bit so we can see a bit of that. And the little, that will go there. I think that's how we're going to do it. And I guess I'd shape. Oh, fudgy, here comes the fudge. Come, fudge, jump up. That's a boy. Yep, comes the fudge. Hey, fudgy, let's just stop for a moment. Pat the cat. Okay, make some mushrooms with me. Okay, let's say hello to everyone with the little fudgy face. You say, hey, everyone. Hey? Yeah. You're a good boy, aren't you? He's doing really well. Like, I hear these rumours about your health, Mr. Fudge, but you're doing really well, aren't you? Hey? Walking strong, talking strong. Oh, hey, Fudgimus. Oh. I'm going to put you back down, buddy, because you're going to cause trouble. You're not going to be happy staying. It's getting the right shape. I would say, going by the curve of everything, that would tuck up there. Just shape maybe like that. Yeah, and then bring it around. So maybe I have a few little invisible stitches just to hold that there. Hide them under that red would be clever. Probably should have done this at the beginning, but hey, doesn't matter. This was not going to have its underside showing when I first started, but then I've been standing out there thinking about mushrooms with that plumber. And I was like, no, let's do it. A little bit of a turned up cap on this little guy. I think once I get my basic elements in position here, I can then add, you know, more of a decorative stitch, because I'm picturing, let's just get that tacked before I go and sidetrack myself. Grab my friction pen. I could have even made that piece of fabric a little bit more textured with little fabricy bits too. If that makes sense. All right, so that's just tacked there just to hold it. Maybe we want to tuck some more bits in under there. Something, I don't know. A little bit more crocheting. So something a bit like that. Let's just cut a little piece of that off. Hey, Fudgy. So if I could tuck something like that in under as well. I somehow think you could literally spend hours fiddling with this type of work, but I think that would work. And if I had thought this through a little more, I would have had that probably stitched on that surface. But that's okay, it'll be fine. You get away with a lot with collaging. Yeah, I like that. And then if some, oh, there goes Fudgy's now doing zoomies. Let's get a needle and thread. I've just sculled a coffee too that was sitting here getting cool. Whew. I'm going to be doing zoomies like Fudgy. I'm just going to stitch this now into position. Fudge! So you know what I'll be doing for the rest of the day? Sitting here, fiddling with tiny little scrappy things to make mushrooms. And so there'll be a bit of work in this page. Oh. Slow down, Fudge. Puss, puss. Come here, Fudgy. Oh, he's just come racing into the room from the carpet into this tiled area and hit the skids and skidded across. Oh. Fudgy. His tail is all fuzzed up like a crazy cat. What a circus. Okay, a couple little stitches will do the trick. Then I guess I should focus on the stalk and get I'm thinking I will still do a bit of a mossy floor feeling, but I won't make it so grungy as the last page. I'll keep it more, I guess, sugarcane mulch. Oh, he's running across the couches now. Now he's back in here. Fudgy, puss, puss. I suppose you'll be all pleased to hear that he's still running amok. Now Pepper's woofing at someone. There we go. I like that. It's just given it that little bit extra interest. I probably would then trim that little bit. Don't think it's needed, or, oh no, I'm going to kick that up there. That helps with the curve. Bring back this little guy. Put a stitch. Got a mother and son out the side of the house at the lake having a little fish. So that Pepper's just giving them a quick woof. She usually doesn't worry about fishermen, but if there's a doggy there, she's never real keen on other dogs, which is a bit rude. We've spoken to her numerous occasions about such behaviour. And it's funny, it depends on the dog too. Sometimes she gets really wound up about some dogs, others, yeah, just a quick woof and then she trots off. There was a tradesman here the other day too that Bandit just did not like. Oh my goodness, I thought he was going to eat him. Bandit's real gentle. He's a docile chap. We say he's not the smartest puppy in the batch, but he's a loving, gentle fellow, and many people come and go, and he doesn't care. He gets his rope and he takes it over for a please play with me. But this one man, he just beelined for him, and he's come around the side of the shed into Bandit's area along with 20 other people for months, and Bandit's just woof, gone for him. Yeah, he certainly made the fellow jump. So I don't know what that was all about. I must say, I'd spoken to this gentleman earlier in the day as we were getting the jobs sort of all nutted out and who was doing what, and you know, and he was a little bit gruff to me, and I was like, oh yeah, good on you, mate, you know, no need to find me annoying so soon in the job. And then that happened with Bandit, and I was like, wow, that's interesting. So I've got a couple options here. I can take mushroom up there, which I'm sort of liking, or up into there. I guess they're all decisions I don't really need to make immediately. I like the thinner. Yep. And then I might do some stitches, where's my needle, at the angle, just in there to give a hint of that lace that you see underneath. Okay, let's work on, oh, there's a bit of gauze, look at this. Let's work on this. Got messages popping in. Hang on a minute, guys. Oh yeah, oh, all good. I think I'll just get a little bit off of it. I think it's all about layers. So let's just start here, building up bits and pieces, stuff like this. Just, they're quite unusual little and I've got that little bit I cut off before. I'm not sure if I'm digging that anymore. But what I do like is that fabric. So a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit more of this. Just to soften it all. Got a little bit of cheese, well, it's not cheesecloth, it's actually just a very loose woven. Maybe that should have gone first, then that. Thinking that's too hard of a line. I think I want more of that. It's going to disintegrate on me before I get it. Bit of that. Loosen this up a little bit. Bit of that. And then with some, maybe that goes down the bottom. Let's start the bottom bit. Sort of trying to make it look a little bit segmented. Might zoom in too, guys, so you can just see a bit more of the detail. Maybe a bit of that there, then that, I don't know. Bit of that. Now I'll leave that darker colour down there. I like the idea that that looks like, yeah, take that away. Some stitches and knots. And then that connects to that. Oh, I like that. Okay, needle and thread. I didn't take much notice of how much time I had already been here. So we're winging it today. Now I'm going to try and just get a couple quick little stitches in there just to hold everything. Oops. And then when I do the embroidery side of things, French knots and short and long stitches and, you know, adding a little bit of interest. That's what'll really secure it. But if this can just hold all these little elements for me, like I said, you could add a little bit of quilting glue or, you know, my glue stick. There we go. Let's just come down here. I need to pick it up. Just let it flop. Doesn't matter. If I fiddle too much, I'll overthink it. We just need it stitched, girl. Couple little stitches. Plus, when I attach it to the background, that'll give it even more chance to be, you know, stitched. Like that, like that. A tiny little bit of tulle. Gosh, this video would seriously be 3 hours long if I was to make all these mushrooms. I know you girls that are wanting to do a heap of stitching today be like, yeah, let's just do it. Let's have a marathon of mushroom making. But unfortunately, that would take forever to upload to Mr. YouTube. There we go. Now, I'm down here with needle and thread. I was just wondering if I could put another little bit of gauze over that. Yeah, I think so, just to soften it somewhat. Oh, I love it. My new favourite thing to make, toadstools. I keep calling them mushrooms, but they're probably more toadstools than anything. Fungi. All right. Now, I was looking at this piece of lace. I like the little fan shape there. It's just got an interesting I like that. Let's just stitch that little guy on. Now what I need to do, instead of finish my sentences, what I need to do is grab my beads, and we'll get this one little guy at least mainly finished. Sort of feel like I need something softening that as well. Let's just get a couple more stitches as I head back up this little guy's stalk. Maybe that. Yeah, I like that. Might disappear under the cap a little bit, but I like that shape. I don't know if you guys are even seeing this. My hands are moving faster than my camera. So I hope that shows up. I'll just get a stitch in there. Gosh, it's humid outside. I was standing there listening to the plumbing talk and I could feel sweat coming up on my brow. I don't know if it's because I'm still got a little bit of flu or it's just humid. All right, that's enough of that. Okay, so we've now got an interesting little stalk with bits on it. We've got an interesting little cap, and I'm hoping the two make sense when they smoosh together there like that. They do. I like it. I love it. Let me grab my beads, guys. I might just take the camera up just a fraction. I think you get the general gist of where we're heading. Let's have a look at the beads. Some little pearls, definitely. Got a few little red ones here. Oh, I love it. I'm going to stitch that to that. I love its position. All right. How to make one random mushroom, toadstool, red cap. What's their official name? Here comes Gaz. He's going to make a noise. Hang on. Okay, I'm back. All right. I'm just stitching the stalk into position. Now you can hear a bandsaw. Tell you, it's nice and quiet in the morning until everyone arrives. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this little thread off, but re-thread with a bead needle. Something that can take the beads. Need something really fine, don't we? Where are all my bead needles gone? There he is. One of them anyway. I just need to shut a door. Gaz is making noise now in the kitchen. Seriously. Back in a moment, guys. All right, let's try that again. So I've got myself a fine needle that should thread through some little beads. I just got to thread her up. And then these little beads can be added. Let's just work our way back up, say, to that spot there. Just pick a spot, any spot. I'm going to anchor it so that it's nice and firm. And then grab a bead. They're a little pearly one. They're quite small, so I think scale-wise, whoops. Oh yeah. So what I'm thinking is where I've got no spots, that's where I'll keep my little beads. So they can be the spots in some places, these can be the spots in the rest of the places. There is a little red spot on that fabric there and there, so I might avoid those because that's another nice little detail. Come on, pick up a bead. Stop wriggling around so much. Are you serious? Come on. And then I might look for maybe a creamier bead that I could work into you know, this, that picks up maybe that colour and that bottom colour, like a calico coloured bead. So that's the plan with the beads. Oops, two beads? No, we don't want two. All right. I've really lost track of the time. but it's okay. There's a big white one. Oh, I like him. I wonder if I got more of him. Where did you come from? Do we stitch him on? I might just, oh, don't do it. What if there's only one? Does it matter? No, it's going on. Oh, I like how it's a different, different shape. Oh, there'd have to be some in there somewhere. It's come from somewhere. It seems familiar. Oh, boy. Yeah, some random shaped beads. I like that idea. Just got to make sure I can find some. All right, what I might do is I'm going to end off that because I think that's all going to work. There'll be a few big beads, if I can find them. I'm positive they're there. I just don't want to pause the video again. Worst case scenario, I can't find them. I will remove those few. But yeah, I really like that. Okay, they're a definite. We've got some little scrappy pieces left. We used pretty much all of that. Now, I need something to do lines. Just spotted that. Yeah, let's do this. This is the gills. I don't know if they're called gills, guys. The gills under the cap of the mushroom. Just feel like we need a few lines. Now, they need to be behind that and going up like so. Yeah, that's what we want. Just a little hint of curve. I'll just do 3 little stitches there. Yep. Maybe one over there. One over there. Yep, I like that. That works. I don't like that one for some reason. It's probably looking too flat. Yeah, that's enough. So then, do I use this same colour down the bottom? Don't not. Maybe a few little stitches down here. I think we'll put some beads in. Oh, it's come unthreaded. Of course it has. A tiny little bit left. It's a definite great colour. Maybe just a few little sprigs coming out. It's very bright. I don't know, there's the colour change. That's the thing with colour changing. Thread, sometimes you like the colour and sometimes it's like, oh, if only you were down there. I'll just leave it at that. It's just a little detail at the moment. But what I might do is have a look at some more beads. Do I want beads or do I want French knots? I like the idea of the beads, to be honest. Let's grab the calico coloured beads. They should be easy. Yep, there they are. There's the white ones. I found the white ones. That's good. But I'm thinking those. There's my little bead needle. I don't even think this needle will go through. This might be the end of me. Yeah, I need to go further afoot to find a straw needle because they are tiny, 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 tiny. All right, I think colour-wise, those little calico beads all through there, I hope you can see them. See how they just bring that darker moment, and down there will be perfect. But they are going to be quite obnoxious to stitch on. So those, a white shiny one for the cap, a darker version there, and I've got more white. Maybe we finish the video with the white bit. It's all knotted, yep. So there you go, guys. We have one red collaged mushroom, and I didn't have to do a heap of needle thread painting. Hang on, I'm going to cough now. Oh my goodness me. Who knows how this page will come to be. Let's just get some mushrooms made. And I guess I'll tune back in when I'm ready to do something else. Oh, goodness me. Couple big ones. Pop a little one on there. See, they're good too. Oh. Maybe they'd be better. At least I get them through the needle. And those, I just didn't even notice. I've got, look guys, calico coloured ones. Maybe everything I need's just here. That's good, because finding a needle for those little guys, that's going to be driving me a little bit loopy. There we go. Just that one little one there. See, I could be artistic and only do beads on one side. Just a swish of beads there, and leave that. Oh, I don't mind that idea. Sometimes the whole thing is not what you want to do. You just want to do a little bit in an area and then move on. Less is more. Okay, so, oh, the tummy's rumbling. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Must be time for breakfast. Let's get a little bit more thread. Let's get some of these calico beads. I like that sneaky knot just to hold the needle. It's like less rethreading. Okay. Now, I feel like I need a little ridge of something through here. a couple stitches first just to secure everything. Let's try one of those. Let's see what you look like. You're a big bead now. Oh my goodness. Talk about fiddly. Yeah, I like that. I can always put little beads in around them as well if I decide to make that quite thickly beaded. Going with a few bigger ones first is not a bad idea because you can come in then behind it with little ones. So those ones there possibly need to stay in my tray just to get a bit of height to this ridge of beads. And I'm thinking this little ridge here is where all of this lacy stuff is growing from. Bring it at an angle down here. So it sort of makes sense. Could even put just French knots in there to bring it right down. Okay, so now I can work my way back up. Let's put these out of the way before I have pink beads everywhere. All right, I might toddle off. That needle is not suitable. I can't see a really fine one. One more look. If I can't see anything, I will definitely, I'd like to know where all my needles have gone. Definitely need to bid farewell. Let me just bring the camera up a little bit. Yeah, there's no obvious bead needle. So I'll leave that thread so it's ready. Look how messy my page has got, my piece has got. Here's my spread. I've still got my little guy. Here's my mushroom. Still needing some more collaging, but we're on to something. Oh, I love how strikingly red and white it is. And then I guess the bottom of where it's all growing out will slowly build as well as we put in, see, random stuff. Just never know. Who knows? Cluster of something. Who knows? We'll work something out. That's another day. And as for these guys, I'm still thinking about them and how we incorporate them into the work. Maybe that's where my thread painting comes. How much of them we want. How big we want to go. Maybe I need to restamp and maybe that one's no longer there. Oh, look, who needs to restamp? We'll just go over the top of it. I don't mind that. That's a start of something. And then the little guy can come up through there or through there. Who knows? Decision for another day. All right, guys, I'm going to say goodbye and I'll catch you all in the next video. Bye.